Police Commissioner, Bangalore City, Raghavendra Auradkar, stated that ADGP Ravindranath was not sent to the lockup. Rather, he personally, on his own, went into the lockup, and that he had no role whatsoever in this, and that he was in a meeting in the Vidhan Sauda when all this happened. Now, considering what all is being taking place, the governor has asked the Chief Minister to take up the issue of the cops squabbling in public immediately. In fact, you clearly saw from this mobile footage how ADGP Ravindranath is actually ordering the Bangalore City Police Commissioner to arrest him immediately, to call the IO, the investigating officer, and arrest him. Now, the governor has said that the manner of behavior of the cops is sending a wrong message to the people of the state. Well, coming back to you, Nishita, the Home Minister has now stated that the case has been sent to the CID and they are waiting for a report. Now, in the meanwhile, this is, if they don't do anything to stop ADGP Ravindranath, he's actually going to embarrass the IPS officers and the police through and through.
That's right. In fact, that we see happening even as we speak now. Every single step that Ravindranath is taking is aimed at showing how his own department people are targeting him and are sabotaging him and are going out of their way to ensure that his image is tainted. Right from the beginning, all the allegations that he has hurled at Raghavendra Auradkar Nolan, he has gone on to state that Raghavendra Auradkar has shown him in the light of a Naxal sympathizer. He has brought in the Sridhar guy in the Obope restaurant to target him, to register this complaint and to take forward this case, to make this case big enough to taint Ravindranath's image. So quite personal accusations that Ravindranath is hurling at Raghavendra Auradkar, how for the last several years their rivalry has continued, and now despite them being in extremely responsible positions like the ADGP as well as the police commissioner, their rivalry still continues is what Ravindranath has gone on to claim. He is time and again coming to the police commissioner, going to the home minister, going to the DG, courting arrest, but clearly the government cannot arrest him at the moment. The investigations are underway. The FIR too, in fact, has been filed against unknown persons, so he cannot be arrested at the moment if you go as per law. But we also see Ravindranath being extremely noisy. He's coming out, making a lot of noise every single day. He's ensuring that his version of the story is heard by the media. He is going to the police commissioner's office. As we see in this footage, he's practically hounding him all through the day, courting arrest and saying that it is personal rivalry that he is taking off against him. So it is extremely embarrassing, as you rightly mentioned. It is very, very embarrassing not only for the police department but for the state government as well. It almost looks like the state government is incapable of controlling such a situation. For the past 3 days, there is a spat that is going on within the police department. One of their own police officers, or high-ranked police officer, is accused of clicking pictures of women without their permission. The two obscene pictures is what the complaint states. But still the state government seems to have absolutely no control, no grip over their officers. So it is certainly an embarrassing position to be in for the state government as well as the police department. Now with the governor getting involved, what kind of iron hand will the Home Minister come down with to curtail this particular embarrassing situation is something that we have to wait and watch at the moment, Nolan.
Right, Nishita, thank you very much for all those details. In fact, let's once more take a look at this mobile footage.
Now you arrest me now. He has to arrest her. He has to arrest her. Case is registered. Call the IO. Call the IO. Direct IO. Direct IO to arrest. Direct IO to arrest.
Now, Prime Minister Narendra Modi unveiled his top 10 policy priorities on Thursday, seeking to unblock an investment logjam and setting deadlines for action in order to revive the economy. Now, a top aide flagged the action points ahead of a cabinet meeting wherein Modi will begin the task of meeting the aspirations of voters who handed the BJP the strongest electoral mandate in 30 years. So in fact, this is Agenda 1, build up confidence in bureaucracy so that they do not fear to face consequences. Agenda 2, innovative ideas will be welcomed and bureaucrats will be given freedom to work. Agenda 3, education, health, water, energy and roads will be a priority. Number 4, transparency in government, e-auction will be promoted in tendering government works. Number 5, system will be placed for interministerial issues. Number 6, people-oriented system will be in place. Number 7, addressing concerns relating to the economy. Then on focus on infrastructural and investment reforms. Number 9 is implement policies in time-bound manner. And 10, stability and sustainability in government policies. In fact, this is Prime Minister Narendra Modi's 10-point agenda. Now, for more on this, I'm joined in by my colleague Varghese. Varghese, it's very interesting because just some time ago, Urban Development Minister Venkaiah Naidu spoke. He said that 3 points Prime Minister Modi wanted his Council of Ministers to focus on: governance, overall governance, efficiency, delivery and implementation. And he also spoke about asking them to come out with what program they want to focus on, a timetable and implementation. So all that fits here in this 10-point agenda.
Well, the idea of the 10-point agenda, if you go through it, it looks at the crucial sides where the governance has been lagging, and also it is an attempt to make sure that there's transparency in governance, especially with the question of e-auction, which will be promoted in tendering government works. In fact, ensures that there is transparency in the manner in which there is government works that has been tendered to. So when we look at it, it is quite important to see the kind of transparency that has been introduced. Also, the bureaucracy has been given a freedom of how to go about their department, and innovative ideas are welcome. This is the kind of things that have been put in, therefore cutting down red tape as well as the amount of permission raj that is there in the bureaucracy, where each smaller officer would have to ask their higher-ups, and the higher-ups should ask their higher-ups to get permission to, in fact, carry out small works. So that also will be, in fact, taken into consideration, and primary importance has been given to addressing the concerns with relating to economy, where policy decisions will be taken into consideration, where implementation of these policies will be carried out in a time-bound manner. Now, most of the reforms that have been introduced by the previous government have been stuck in the lack of implementation. So therefore we are looking at the policy, how these policies will be implemented by the new government, and it looks like the agenda focuses on implementing these reforms so as to bring the economy from the doldrums. The other important thing that has been put into place is the sustainability in government policies. Therefore, so there are no contradictory policies that in fact come up, and there is no huge set of or a maze of laws through which a lot of people will have to go through, especially investors or people starting from the who are looking at entrepreneurship, private entrepreneurship. They do not need to go through a maze of rules. So there will be a streamlining process that will be carried out, and also with regards to the manner in which there is some kind of transparency that is introduced, as well as governance introduced in the process, the manner in which it will also be looking at a leaner form of bureaucracy that would help in the faster implementation of projects and policies, Nolan.
Now, it's also very interesting because Agenda 1 is build up confidence in bureaucracy so that they do not fear to face consequences. And 2, again, he speaks about the bureaucrats. He says innovative ideas will be welcomed and bureaucrats will be given freedom to work. Now, his first 2 agendas themselves talk about bureaucrats because it is stated by experts, let the bureaucrats alone and India will progress. So he has actually understood that.
Well, he has understood the factor that most of the bureaucrats have knowledge about the kind of field they are in. So therefore, most of them, as I earlier mentioned, what he's trying to bring down is the permission raj that exists within a huge hierarchy. So bureaucrats who know the local problems, we are talking about bureaucrats at a level where they are interacting with local people with regards to governance. So those bureaucrats are the ones who would be given the free hand to, in fact, solve those local problems with local resources, and also to take government government help. Now, this wouldn't go through a series of red tapeism and thereby delay whatever projects or innovative ideas they have. Also, very interesting fact that he's brought up is the question of bureaucrats, in fact, taking up the responsibility for what they are going to do. Now, that will, in fact, fix responsibility and accountability within the bureaucracy and does not keep on passing up and down. And because of that, a lot of bureaucrats will, in fact, make sure that there will be a result-oriented approach, and not a lot of public money wouldn't be wasted on projects that does not give results. So that will be the focus of this agenda. And also, the ministers will also be given innovative approaches and advice from their bureaucrats, and they will be, in fact, looking at the purse strings rather than at the policy implementation, Nolan.
Right, Varghese, thank you very much for all that information. Well, in fact, the United States of America seems to be working towards warming up relations with India. Now, the first call to the Minister of External Affairs was from US Foreign Secretary John Kerry. Now, Secretary Kerry first congratulated Sushma Swaraj and spoke of re-energizing ties with India. Now, Syed Akbaruddin of the MEA, the spokesperson over there, tweeted the moment. He said, first call, India's External Affairs Minister Sushma Swaraj received her first congratulatory call from the US Secretary of State John Kerry. Re-energizing relations, External Affairs Minister Sushma Swaraj and Secretary John Kerry discussed re-energizing the strategic partnership in their first talk. In fact, we are told that Secretary Kerry also congratulated Sushma Swaraj and her party, the BJP, for their election victory. Now, during the conversation, this is what Syed Akbaruddin, the spokesperson in the MEA, says. Kerry stressed upon the need to enhance trade and economic ties, and Ms. Swaraj's response was extremely positive. She responded by emphasizing the importance India gives to strengthening the strategic partnership with America. In fact, a massive fire broke out in a high-rise building in Surat. As per initial reports, the fire first broke out at Vipul Sari's shop located on the 4th floor of the 17-story Orchid Tower and quickly spread to other floors. Now, Orchid Towers is located in the textile market area of the city and houses godowns and offices of cloth merchants. Though no casualties have been reported so far, many people are said to be trapped in the building. However, reports said that no one was inside the building. The fire started early in the morning before business hours. At least 20 fire tenders are battling the fire, but given the massive stock of textile material stored in the building, it would be some time before the fire is controlled. Now, hundreds of people have gathered around the building, causing a traffic nightmare on the busy road in the Pune area. In fact, you can clearly see thick plumes of black smoke blowing from not just one or two floors, but from the entire structure. And the fire force personnel using those whatever equipment they have, cranes as such, with jet pumps in order to control the blaze.